Hi guys, welcome back to Stupid Blokes, Stupid Videos. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell, YouTube stuff. Right, we're going to do something really stupid today. Right, this is my mate's van, and as you can see, it's got oil on the bonnet. And it's had quite a disastrous outcome, this, because, as I will demonstrate after I've done this little short introduction, it has run on. This van's actually run on its own oil, and seems to be a lot of commotion going on behind me, but I hope you can hear me, because it's had too much oil in it. Now, it's not, I blame Renault, because this is a Renault engine, and it has this stupid, the dumbest fucking oil filling dipstick device. It's just dumb. Anyway, so as we can see here, that's got hot. Now that looks like it's exhaust gas hot, so I suspect head gasket's blown, or head lift, or it's going to crack somewhere. I mean, it's probably doing like 92,000 RPM when it was burning its own oil, as you'll see. But we're going to try and see if we can get it going. So let's get on with that.
Definitely not the keys.
Right, now, as you can see, the oil level is actually alright now. Now, wouldn't it be nice if it had just stopped? I mean, this still turns over, and when it was running on, it stopped on its own, but it hasn't seized up. So wouldn't it be nice if it just stopped, because the oil level had gone down to a level where the return off the turbo was letting it return into the sump without going into the combustion chambers. Find it unlikely, but here's hoping, I suppose. Right, well, that saves part of the job, because the first thing I was going to do is drain some oil out of it to get it down to level, because just before this happened, it was topped up with oil. So that sort of gives an idea as to why it's happened. Now, what I am going to do is I'm going to take these turbo pipes off, and I want to see how badly full of oil the intercooler is. And then I suspect that because it's been running with the ignition turned off and the stop solenoid on the injector pump, well, not injector pump, it's an high pressure pump, it's common rail this, I suspect that the well, it's potential that it's been running against the solenoid being turned off and lost its prime, possible. Not sure if that's what's going to happen, but we'll prime that up. So that's that, and then let's take these two pipes off and see what they're like. So we've got 7mm on my Blue Point socket driver. This, now I bought this socket set a long time ago, and it's been the most worthwhile thing I've ever bought off the Snap-on man, I think. Bang for buck. Used it quite often. So that's one loose. Let's just pull that pipe off first and see what's in there. Oh yeah, it's just starting to look oily. Oh. It's got some oil in it, but it's not pouring out, but that isn't the bottom of the intercooler, is it? So let's put that back on for a minute. Right, so I'm going to try flicking the ignition, see what happens, see what it sounds like. This is now our air intake, just in case the intercooler is still full of oil. I mean, if it runs, we'll then drain that out, but if not, then anyone want to buy a cheap van that wants an engine, just let me know. But let's see what happens now. Well, that's not starting, but it is turning over. So let's try a bit of sniff. Okay, let's try a lot of sniff. That doesn't look too good though, does it? Do that again. I mean, there is evidence of smoke coming from various vicinities of the engine. I mean, I don't know if there's an hole in the back of the engine block or what, but there's no oil on the floor, or there wasn't before. So let's try that again. I mean, this has been piss wet through by the fire brigade, because this happened on the motorway. And Fireman Sam come and, I mean, that's Fireman Sam's water there. So, let's just try that again. Oh, she's running. Ish. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. This might go on fire. Can we see where that's actually coming from? I mean, is it just burning oil that's residue left over everywhere? Let's have a look. Right, I'm pretty sure that smoke is coming out of here. I think it's turbos blowing a load of shit out of the intercooler pipe. So let's check that intercooler off and drain the oil out of it first. Right, so let's get the intercooler off first. Let's take this rubber piss flap off here, just to give us more access. There we go. And then let's take that off. Oh, that's tight. I'd say which dick tightened that up, but it would probably me during a previous struggle. Right, before I round it off, let's just loosen that off. Yeah, that was more effort than it's worth, so I just bent it out of the way. So let's take these out. That's one done. Should be one on the other side. And if you can see that, intercooler bolts. Let's get them out. So now we've got them bolts out, the intercooler just sort of lifts out around this pipe. So let's see what comes out of that into this specially prepared bucket. Oh look, and there's oil. There's a surprise. Let's let that drain for a little bit. Right, I don't think much more's coming out of that, so let's put that back on. Right, so intercooler's back in, so what we're going to do is we're going to give it a bit of easy start, then we're going to put the pipe back on there, so then it's sucking air through the MAF sensor and what have you. See what happens then, eh? So I shall just prime this fuel pump again. Now I'm going to need 2 hands for this, but I'm going to do this and then I'll start filming when I go to start it. Right, so everything's back on. It's sniffed up. That's not running still. Doesn't sound too clever, does it? Stop that before burnt starter motor out. I mean, there's no oil pissing out the bottom of it, which can only be beneficial, but I do still think it's done for. It sounds when it's turning over, it's got compression on more cylinders than other, and it's got a slightly flat tyre, but that's the least of its worries. Well, it runs for a bit longer, but that's not looking clever either. And where is that all coming from? Hard to say really, because it's just coming from everywhere. Alright, let's try it without the easy start. Nah. Oh, it started running then. I mean, it's running, but it's not too I mean, at least it turns off itself. I mean, that's definitely, I think this is Euro 3, this van, but that's not Euro 3 standards, is it? I mean, it's hard to say where this smoke's coming from. It could be coming from between the cylinder head and the block on one of the cylinders or something. I mean, if you look there, it looks like it's coming out the cabin, but it originated here. And if I get someone else to turn it over while I've got my head over it, I don't fancy taking a piston to the chin. But it could just be, it's not, is it? It's fucked, but I was gonna say it could be just clearing the oil out of it that's left in it, which is probably what the smoke is. There's still some oil left all up the intake that's getting sucked in. But I actually think it's cooked. I mean, that sort of like defines it really. Right, so I'll just get a close-up view of what's actually happening when we run it. It starts, but knocking its tits off. Sounds like the head gasket's chuffing, and oil lights are on. Loads of lights on the dash, but I'll show you from here. Go on, crank it. Yeah. 80 smoke machine, sick. But I think that's the unfortunate end of that engine. RIP 1.9 Renault engine, diesel. Now, I don't know how well this can be seen, but it does appear a bit damp around there. So that could be where our smoke's coming from. It could be a big gaping hole, but I can't see down there. So I'm going to try sticking my phone down there to see if I can see. Let's have a look. Can you see anything? Is there anything to be seen? I mean, I'm looking blind here. It's probably going to be more up here, isn't it? Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try it a couple more times before I'd like to see what is actually wrong with it, but I think it's cooked. I think it's cooked. A bit overdone. But what I'm going to do is, I've gone too far with that, I'm just going to nip this and I'll just make it so it's nipped, and then that is on standby in case it starts running on again, so I can pull it off and put my hand over it. So I'm just going to try it a few times. I'm not going to film it each time and see if it clears itself. I'm not holding it much up, but we'll see. Nope, think that's had it. I mean, it was running, I was cycling ignition to keep the revs down a bit, but Blackpool illuminations on dash, stop in big letters. Sounds like a big end's knocking, oil pressure warning light. So if anyone wants to buy a Vauxhall Vivaro that wants an engine in it, hit me up, G. We'll sort out a deal. I mean, this is unfortunate because it's actually been a really good van, this, until this happened. And it was just an easy mistake to make, especially, like I said, with this stupid, absolute wank Renault dipstick. But yeah, I think that's it. It's had it, unless it put an engine in it, which I'm disappointed about, but we give it a go, didn't we?